It's on.
Shalom Akim. First off, we're going to start by saying all praises goes to Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Dash. Okay, we are the Israelites. Oh, Slakia, them honest apostles, not else great millstone. The citation talking about their pushing spirit, no sincerity and honesty. All right, we got the Israelites according to the Bible, and but you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, so-called, are truly Israelites according to the Bible also. But the Lord, through the Spirit, the Lord has us out here doing the works. So with that being said, we're going to continue doing the works. You bring out Matthew 13.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
That's right, man. What do your eyes see? First of all, the Lord, in this particular chapter, the Lord's to my 12 disciples, okay, which became the 12 apostles, all right? He said, blessed are your eyes for you see and your ears for you hear. And those, those brothers back then in the ancient times, they were blessed because they understood there was knowledge or understanding, and they also saw Yahweh shine in the flesh, But now, in today's time, that's going into the brothers out here doing the work throughout the four corners of the world. All right, we're blessed because we have this knowledge and understanding, just like our brothers did in the ancient times. Okay, which they're back here again today through reincarnation. If you have ears to hear and eyes to see, okay, and we're blessed because we're seeing the prophecies of the end actually come to pass.
That precept for you, brother.
Come.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 17. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Blessed is thou, Simon Barjona, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And if I may say, and that goes back to because through faith. All right, that's a key word right there, faith. Faith has revealed this to us. Because our elders and our apostles, they broke it down to us, and what we did, we went through, we searched the scripture diligently, and what we found that is a faith-based thing. This is not about flesh and blood, because when Yahushua do reveal Himself, we're gonna love His appearance. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay.
All right, so let me go back to what you had, all right, you want me to go further? Want to read the next verse, or you want me to start
the next verse? Yeah.
All right, Matthew chapter 13, verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see.
Right, and many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see. All right, in today's time, that's going into these end times. These prophecies finally coming to pass. All right, when you go into the pestilence, okay, when you go into martial law, uproars of the people, earthquakes in diverse places, the famine, okay, the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. All right, all these things, the men of ancient, want to see this place go down, want to see the so-called white man go down. But here it is, we actually seen it. Okay, we living it out. All right, we're going to see Yahweh Shai come through in His glory and cracking those clouds, delivering His elect and destroying, the 2/3, destroying the so-called white man and these heathens. All right, destroying America. Right.
That's right. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Right. Because what time are we in now? It's a glorious thing. The scriptures say, better is the end of a thing. All right, we're in the end of the so-called white man's reign. Okay, this is something that many men have desired to see. All right, that passed on into the spirit world. All right, but here it is. The Lord had it to where we're going through it now. Whether we die you know, we die for it, whether we die for this thing, you know, or whether we make it on to those chariots, you know, this is something that we've desired to see. It's a blessing unto us. No, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Sirach chapter 25 verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Right, a man that have joy of his children, but you don't have that today in this kingdom, because they'll come and take your child away. You know, if you correct your child by way of the rod, they'll take your child away. You know, or they'll raise it, or you might teach your child one thing at home to fear the Lord, but then they might teach your child something else in their school system. You know, which is a complete abomination according to the word of the Heavenly Father. But the point, go to the point in there.
The point, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Right, he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. All right, and who's the number one enemy? The so-called white man. All right, when you look at the word Satan, it just means what? Adversary. Okay, because that's the enemy. Okay, if our people might not know who the enemy is, but you know, we've been telling you all this time that the so-called white man, the wicked, that's the enemy, and we're going to see the fall of him starting with the elites. All right, by the hand of our big brother and our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah. Okay, through the Father and the Son, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. This so-called white man is going out of power, is going to be destroyed.
If I may say, and that goes in for 2020, because we are not only are we hearing these things and seeing these things, we're experiencing them. So that goes hand in hand. And all the things that we said, what's happening? Race wars, rumors of wars, famine, all the things that Yahweh Shah talked about back then to the disciples. We are experiencing them right now. All right, and as that's what goes back, the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophets, because they was told back then, and they lived out so many times, and now the prophets of the Lord is back experiencing them.
I may say too, and like our apostle knows, has pointed out to us, there's only like a few more prophecies left. You know, before the kingdom of heaven is set up. You know, pretty much, you know, all the prophecies came to pass already, besides a few more. You know, we're still waiting on, you know, a few more prophecies before Yahweh shall return, man. And then after that, it's going to be the kingdom of heaven.
All right, I got a quick precept. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. And it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And when you go into these different nations, like the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, all right, the Greeks, the Romans, they all had prophets prophesying the downfall of that nation. All right, whether it be by the sword, famine, okay, you have prophets prophesying, and today in America is no different. Okay, because like the brother stated earlier, the spirit of prophet is subject onto a prophet. Okay, so that prophet is going to come back in the spirit and is going to continue the same job, which is to prophesy the downfall of a place, and that place today is America. Of wars and of evil and of pestilence. All right, which we're seeing that on a wide scale. You have the COVID-19. All right, in which that's gonna increase. All right, it's gonna be some plagues that's gonna come upon this place that's gonna make COVID-19 look like child's play. You know, it's gonna be the wars, rumors of wars. Countries are gonna start to invade other countries. Okay, and earthquakes in diverse places, and that been happening since what, 2010. You know, earthquakes been going off since 2010, since before that. All right, because we are in the time of the end.
Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 8. and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac.
Start at verse 7.
Okay. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
Yeah, that's going into when the next rulership was gonna take place. Because when you look into that word world, it's not talking about the whole planet Earth being destroyed. All right, it's talking about the end of an age, the end of an era. Okay, and it's talking about the so-called white man's end. It's talking about the end of his rulership, man. All right, the parting asunder of Esau's rulership and the beginning of the next rulership to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right, because at that time, the Medo-Persian Empire was in power. All right, but like we opened up with, that was the big question, man. When the Most High is going to deliver Israel and set up the kingdom of heaven as he prophesied unto the prophets that have been before Ezra's, man, and the prophets that have been before us. Good.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held the first Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, which was symbolic for Esau. There was going to be a time where Esau was going to come into power, and Jacob is going to pull Esau out of his power seat, man. All right, that was prophetic. That was symbolic. Okay, going back to Genesis, the 25th chapter.
Hey, if I just say it real quick, man, we was at strife from the womb. We came out fighting, man. No, Jacob and Esau, the so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans, versus the Edomites, man. But this is their kingdom. This is their rulership. So of course we be taking a beating right now, man. You got that dude, I moved, the Jake over there in Georgia, just got blown away with a shotgun.
Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud
Arbery just got blown away with a shotgun, man. All right, cause that strife between Jacob and Esau, it never changed. All right, Esau is not gonna stop blowing us away until the kingdom comes, man. Until Yahushua comes back and saves us. Got it, bro.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah. All right. That's how we know that we're in the end of the world, man. Because the so-called white man has his rulership. The so-called white man is in the power seat. That's how we know we're at the end. All right, because it said it right there. Read it again.
Verse 9. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Esau, the Hebrew word for Esau is Ishashua, which means wasted away. All right, the so-called white man, that's their forefather. All right, they're the Edomites, and they're in the power seat pursuant to Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and it said Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so Jacob, which is the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, you got next. Okay, you're next to rule this planet Earth, man. Rule the entire universe, because the king, once our kingdom is established, all right, it's gonna be an everlasting kingdom. Okay, and Esau, the so-called white man, he has a judgment waiting for him. He has a judgment that he has to deal with, man. The Most High got a judgment for Esau, man.
Hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, you got a hard pill to swallow, man.
That's it.
Come.
Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Can a leopard change his spots? They may ye also that do good be accustomed to do evils.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, you got it.
Yeah, so the kind of so-called white man is accustomed to doing evil, man. Since the wolf, since during the time of Cain and Abel, man, the same spirit in Esau. Up to this 2020, man, the so-called white man is still our enemy. He's still the devil. So the so-called white man can never do good. If you see a so-called white man doing good, man, most likely he's an Israelite foreigner. Because most likely made us to be the wicked. They made us to be the righteous. That's it.
I got going back to the topic. This is Romans 8, verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. You know, and you know, what's a creature? You know, everything that's created by the Most High, living spirits, man. All right, the beasts of the field, the fowls of heaven, the sea creatures. All right, they're all waiting for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High, because when the Israelites, which are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the Israelites that look like these other nations, when they're put in their proper seat, which is to be because the scriptures say the world was made for our sakes, to be rulers of the world. All right, the world is going to be a better place, man. The world is going to be in order. The Most High is going to restore the earth to how it was supposed to be, man. A paradise. All right, a place of where, yeah, a place of righteousness, health, and just peace, man, and just I can't really put it into words, man. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be a great thing, man. All right, and every living creature in their spirit, they're waiting for that, man. All right, except for really, except for these other nations, man, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. That's not in their right mind, man. All right.
I mean, just kind of to add on what you're saying. I mean, even the other nations are waiting for us to be in rulership. They just took counsel with Esau, being swayed by his philosophy. Because when roughly phrasing, when the wicked rule, when people mourn.
I actually got that.
Oh yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, so the wicked are in rulership right now, so the people are mourning. Yeah, they forget the F the other nations, but at the same time, they took Psalms 83. They sat at a table with Esau to put us into deep sleep and to keep us in captivity. But now they're seeing that they're on the shit end of the stick. Like, damn, we shouldn't have dealt with these idiots, these cave beasts, because all Esau cares about is himself. Esau has effed over his own people. He has his own people in captivity, and he's in rulership.
Yep.
So when we do get established back to being the gods that we are, the people are gonna rejoice. They're gonna be like, thank goodness. After this place is destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, ICBM missiles during World War III.
Yeah, that's right, brother. Because the scriptures do speak about after 1,000 years, these nations will have their own land, and they have their own location, but they'll just have to keep giving us
Tribute.
Yeah, tribute. But you can bring out what you have.
I was because what the brother came up with about the word world,
Yeah.
and which is eon, which is G165, because this age is about to be broken, but the one to come is gonna be forever. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And in order to get to obtain that everlastingness, you're gonna have to endure the situation, this shit for nothing place. All right, America, you're gonna have to endure this and to the end, because the scripture speaks about that too, enduring to the end. All right, so let me read this. It says G68 165. All right, and it says eon, right? Forever, an unbreakable age. Because what you said earlier about Jacob is the beginning that followeth. It's the beginning of what we're about to have accomplished, what we're about to have to establish is going to be forever. Something that Joshua, the so-called white man, did not accomplish. He didn't accomplish getting out into the galaxies. He didn't accomplish getting on the moon. We are going to attain everything that Yahweh Shema Shah has given to us in the beginning. We're going to get it back through enduring. Forever, an unbreakable age, perpetually of time, eternally. The world, the universe. See, the worlds and universe. We're going to obtain all that, everything out there. Everything that's out there in the galaxies, that's for us. Because of Yahweh Shah talking about the many mansions.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm sorry. You answer that?
Yeah. This is Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Whatever. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's going to the kingdom, really. You know, that kingdom's going to stand forever. Is going to the kingdom when Yahweh Shai comes down, all right, and sets up his kingdom and rulership. All right, that's the kingdom right there, man. And the so-called Negroes, like so Native Americans, the true Israelites, you're gonna rule in that kingdom. Okay. Of course, the elect is gonna be there first, because we're gonna go past it. We're gonna be saved out of that second death. All right. But the whole of Israel is gonna rule in that kingdom, and those other kingdoms are going into these other empires, these other rulerships, which right now we're in the last rulership, which is going into America, or the so-called white man rulership. All right, and the Lord says he's going to come and destroy all these different kingdoms, and his kingdom shall rule forever and ever. And that's what it's talking about, the kingdom. All right, it's so great that we won't even know, we can't even guess or think about how great it's going to be. All right.
Psalm 145, verse 13. The kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations.
The kingdom is everlasting kingdom, and the dominion, all right? It's not going to be, we in rulership, we got to fight off some Edomites. Fight off some goddamn gooks, fight off Ishmael. Listen, we going to rule and our generation after generation, all right? Our sons are going to rule forever and ever, man.
All right.
The Lord says we'll make the nations of kings and priests. Okay? That's forever and ever. All right? We ain't going to be in captivity no more. This is our last captivity right here in America. Yeah, bro. Damn, you get that for me.
Matthew chapter 13. Oh, yes, you got it. Yes.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Yeah, that's an overthrow, man. All right, because Esau, when you read Revelation 18th chapter, it tells you that thus with violence shall Babylon the Great be thrown down. All right, so Esau is gonna be taking out his power seat by force, man. First and foremost, with our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, when the Most High sends Yahweh Shai back, and Yahweh Shai cracked them crowds, man, from the fourth dimension, all right, into this dimension, man. All right, and when Yahweh Shai come, man, it says every eye gonna see him. Okay, and those eyes that see him, if they're not a part of the elect, they're gonna be destroyed, man. They're gonna be slaughtered, man. All right.
Going back into Jacob holding Esau's heel. And the brother says something about force. We're gonna pull this man from on top, and we're gonna put him on the bottom. All right, and that's gonna start with Yahweh Shai. All right.
Matthew?
Yeah, come.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. And it says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
He that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. Endure what? All these temptations. When you say temptations, this ain't no. You say this ain't no thing talking about. Well, adultery is gonna be there. Abominable foods is gonna be there. But that should be a light thing to deflect. All right. Well, the ultimate temptation really is going into that almighty microchip. All right. Bowing down to the so-called white man, selling out to Esau. Okay. Read it again, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Endure until the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, and we're enduring. Okay, we're going out there on the highways and byways. We're not losing faith. Okay, enduring until the end, man. Whether it's hot or it's cold, whether you poor, okay, you got a place to stay. You gotta keep doing the works, which is what obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, and also going out there on the highways and byways. You know, so endure until the end, man. The same shall be saved. The Lord will be part of those, be one of those, part of that number that's gonna be saved. Go slow more.
It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Right, the gospel is the good news. Shall be preached in all the world, right?
For a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Yeah, for a witness unto all nations. All right, because first of all, you have Israelite foreigners that's amongst these nations, and what proves that is, you know, when this gospel first came out, the way this gospel really got out was the internet. Okay, the internet did a lot of heavy lifting, but then we have Israelite foreigners popping up left and right. Okay, now we didn't see this coming. We didn't plan. It wasn't a planned thing. But you have brothers coming out of Africa, brothers coming out of China, Italy. Okay, and they're prophesying and they're saying, "Listen, man, I'm an Israelite." Okay, and this is what the Bible says. You know, so this gospel is being preached in all the world, and also these different heathens, they gotta know too. They gotta understand how powerful the Lord, how powerful the Most High and the Son is, man. How powerful that glory is. Yeah, there's been the apostles and others started in New York, but this thing got out and nobody got in a jet and flew somewhere and you know learned a different language. Okay, but yet the word is out there. You know, so that goes to show the glory of Yahweh Hashem and Yahushua even on these other nations. Right.
That was it, Roman?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm just going to do scriptures from Salak here. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 8. Who shall also confirm you unto the end? But ye may be blameless in the day of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Who? The apostles confirmed these things. What we did, we searched out the scriptures diligently. And it's accurate. Right? And what else can we do? But stand fast and endure. Because now we're looking for our crown. Because they're going if they stand to the end and we don't, they're gonna get their crown and we're not gonna get no crown. We're gonna come back as babies and what they're gonna do, we're gonna be shamefaced. We're gonna be in the kingdom for a little while shame. But we want to do it to the end. And the end is beautiful. You get lifted on the chariots, you see your enemies be destroyed, you look down from the chariots and you see missiles and laser beams and you up on the chariots and the Lord and then you ain't never have to worry about being sick no more. Right? We be happy forever. We on our beds, never fucking working again, man. That's enduring to the end, man. That's salvation right there. Just the part of not working, lifting up some damn boulders and motherfuckers trying to kill you, but they don't want you to get the damn job. The Edomites don't. If this wasn't about money, the Edomites wouldn't be at the damn job. They wouldn't be there. They'd be like, "Oh, slavery. We got these motherfuckers back in slavery, and they working for free." But since it's about $23 an hour, what they want to do? They want to be at the job, because they got to pay their mortgage. But we don't. But in the kingdom, you're gonna pick up rocks with your teeth, Esau. Sloppy. I didn't mean to go off on me if I sloppy. So that was just the point on that.
I got a precept.
Good, sloppy.
I got a precept.
Good.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles.
You want to, brother?
They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. And this is going into the spiritual powers. The ones that wait upon the Lord, there's going to be brothers out here that are going to get spiritual powers because they held fast to the patience of Yahweh Yahushua. And when Yahushua cracks them clouds, and when the enemy shall come in like a flood, guess what's going to happen? The Lord's going to show his glory through his men, because the Lord uses men or man to do his works. Just like the prophets are the mouthpiece of the Lord or ambassadors of the Lord. The Lord's got a new sharp instrument with teeth and that are going to break down the mountains and the hills, which are the governments of Esau and the other nations. It's going to get wild out here. And then in that time, Psalms 110 and 3 is going to happen. Someone get it for me, so I can.
What's it? Which code for?
Psalms 110 and 3.
I got it. This is Psalms chapter 110, verse 3. It says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power."
Yeah, and the day of thy power is the day of the Lord. That's when the Lord is going to bestow His heavenly power, that mercy on certain brothers, the 144,000 men, and ultimately all of the 144,000 men. But there's going to be brothers out here that are going to be doing works beyond measures, beyond what you can even perceive with your mind, because Esau deals with the left-hand side, which is his technology, but we deal with the spiritual side, which is the right-hand side, which is righteousness, and we deal with our power. The Lord is only dealing with Israel, so He's only dealing with His elect men that He set up from the beginning. And going, going back to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, they that wait, they is talking about the elect, because there's nobody else out here that's constantly crying out to the Lord, sighing and crying out to the Lord. Only the elect are, and that's Lord willing. That's us, not just us sitting here, but the other brothers out there pushing His word in sincerity and truth, week in and week out, day by day. I see brothers posting videos up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's giving diligence to the Lord. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Renew what? To renew something, that means you once had it.
Yeah.
That means we was once gods on this earth. We still are gods, but the Lord dialed down our spirit. I heard this from a brother. The brother said GMS means God's moving strategically. When you go into the scriptures, it's nothing but strategy. This is chess. This is chess, not checkers. The Lord got us dialed into a whole different mindset that we out here, Clark Kent. We're the real Superman.
Yeah, we trapped in these chains of darkness, these corruptible bodies that's subject to sin.
Yeah. I just want to say, GMS means great millstone.
Good.
But also you could say God moves strategically, because to the spirit, that's how we moving. You're watching the scriptures say, we're not Satan devices. We're not ignorant of Satan devices. Why? Because to the spirit, man, listen, we moving circumspectly. All right, and we're aware of the so-called white man and his
devices.
His devices. Right? So there's more on that?
Yeah, it's like they shall mount up with wings as eagles. Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. And that's talking about spiritual powers of flight. We're going to be able to fly. We're going to be able to run without, run at speeds that people faster than Usain Bolt for distances beyond measure, beyond belief. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. We could be just like in what's the movie with Denzel Washington? The Book of Eli. That was spiritual power he had. He got shot and still walked thousands of miles, hundreds to thousands of miles just to fulfill his mission, his duty, his obligation, and showed faith unto the Lord. That's what I perceive from the movie. As an example, he walked in the desert. To walk in the desert, that requires water. He didn't have water. He just had the clothes on his back and walk and fulfilled his duty.
And also in the end of the movie, he had to write the Bible from beginning to end.
Exactly.
So that's also what will have to be spiritual powers, to remember every scripture, or to just know what to write.
Angels blind.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
I got a precept on that, and that's accurate, because how about Shemal Shah guided? If you with the name of Eli, what was the name of how you say it? The Book of Eli, and what is it? Because the brother broke it down at the camp today. That Eli means the how you say it in Hebrew? He said Eli something. He said Eli book, the book of God or something like that. And that's what he was in the
Try to check on it.
Okay. But this is Philippians chapter 2, verse 13. For it is God which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. And this is his good pleasure right here. To be on the highways and the byways, not doing your own thing on any day, any given day, but working every day, meditating on all what Yahweh Shema Shah wants. Seeking him every day. And that's what we do. And that's the will of Yahweh Shema Shah. To his good pleasure. His good pleasure is what? To testify against this filthy society. What the scripture said, who will stand up for me in that time, that evil time? And that's what we're doing. We stand up for Yahweh Shema Shah. Verse 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputing. And that's we're not murmuring, we're not upset about what we're doing. We love what we're doing. This is the best time to be living.
Mm-hmm.
Enduring for something that's righteous, pure. Pure means perfect. You can't make that. It ain't uncut. It's straight to the point. Yeah. That verse 15, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of Yahweh, without rebuke, in the midst of the crooked. Mm-hmm. And they just fuck this crooked as hell. You go out there right now, you came in. Well, you walk past a so-called brother, right? An individual out there, dark-skinned person like you, right? And what he doing? Looking at you like he want to shoot you. You went over this earlier. You know, one brother said that they passed the so-called Jews. They don't look at them. They looking at you.
Yeah.
That's those who crooked. And what they want to do? They want to hurt you. Without rebuke, in the midst of the crooked, and preserve nations amongst whom ye shine as light. In the world, in this world, we shine as bright lights. We the beacon of light. And that day is coming when all hell breaks loose, when shit hit the fan, they're gonna be looking for that light. But it's gonna be them. The family of the word is coming. Okay?
So
I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
it's Hebrews 4, verse 1. It says, let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
And we don't want that. We don't want to come short of this. That's why we stand fast in this. And we want to, at the same time, we want to go do the will of Yahweh as we learning, but we also want to absorb all this for the time of, was that Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6? For wisdom and knowledge be thy stability thy time. All right? So that's what we wanted. That's why we out here doing this, studying and showing ourselves approved. Absorbing this because sometimes you do forget, because that's why you got to keep going through the scriptures over and over and over again. Because this brain ain't cracked over to you think it is. To for companies coming out of this world, but now since we know we got to endure. We know what our show of faith is. It's these scriptures. Salaki.
It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith.
And that goes, I'm sorry, brother. That goes into the ones that fell out, and the ones that's still in this is us. The ones you see right now at this table. We read it again, brother Salaki.
It says, for unto us was the gospel preached.
The good news, the gospel. This good news. This scriptures is good news. Everything in here, even the worst part. Because this comes good, bad, and evil, right? Everything is in here. This is a mixture of everything, right? So we this is all gospel. This, the gospel means good. We like all this. Give it to us. We don't want to let this go. Read on.
It says, as well as unto them.
Okay, read on.
But the word preached did not profit them.
It didn't profit them. This good news didn't profit them. And case in point, I heard about a lot of individuals that came in. They out now. And what's happening to them? They getting ran over by cars. They getting tossed out the window. Their family is getting they run up in the house killing them because this didn't profit them. But it profited us, right? Go ahead, read on, brother.
It said, did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
They didn't have the faith. And Malak always tells me, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Always tells me that. So and that's a key point. Elder Malak, he always said, keep the faith, don't lose the faith, don't lose the faith. And how many years brothers been steadfast in this? And now look, how many faces we have seen is not here. That this scripture, the gospel, the good news did not profit them. That's scary.
That's why I said, let us therefore fear.
Yeah,
It's like we read earlier, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right. So when that's why the scriptures say, serve the Lord with fear. All right. You gotta fear the Most High, man. All right. The Most High gave you these scriptures. You gotta do what the Most High tell you to do. Just like a father command his son. You know, you tell your son what to do. You know, if your son disobey you, you're gonna be pissed the fuck off. You know, and your son is gonna be punished. That's how the Most High is looking at us. All right. It's not no relationship where we, pretty much the Most High is our power. We gotta look at him like that. We gotta worship the Most High. The ultimate form of worship is what we're doing. And a lot of people, they claim they worship the Most High, but they don't worship the Most High in their deeds. You know.
And just to add on to that, in order to worship the Heavenly Father, guess what you got to know? His name. And he only has one name under the heaven, and his son has only one name, and it's in the Lashwan Kadash, the Holy Tongue, the Hebrew. So you can say God this and Yahuwah that. That's not the name. The name alone. There's going to be 11th hour brothers that are going to be saved just by believing on the name. So the name is the name, first and foremost. Fear, the beginning of knowledge is the fear of the Lord, right? And second, after that, guess what? The Lord's gonna, how he deals with you, he's gonna reveal his name unto you. Because you gotta, I'm not gonna, if my name's Ariaba and you call me Steve, I'm gonna feel a certain way. I'm gonna feel disrespected. So the first and foremost, first fear, and second the name. The name is gonna be your ticket up out of here.
I got something for you real quick, brother. This is real quick. This is Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Come, whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. And I remember I used to get in an argument with my dad because he's a hardcore Christian in Nigeria. And, and the Elder Malak here told me, you just got to leave that alone. The Lord might have mercy. The Lord will have mercy on him. The Lord might wake him up later on, but guess what? He still heard the name of the Lord. Through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemel shall use me to tell him what the Lord's name is and his son's name, and broke it down to him. So that now there's no excuse. Just like there's no excuse for anybody out here in New York. Really, there's really no excuse for anyone that lives in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and PA, because the prophets are all out here. And there's no way, shape, or form that you haven't seen the prophets.
And they're whole United States, really.
Yeah,
we in every city.
I mean, yeah.
That's going into the what's that? The
gospel being preached right before comes here.
Yeah, that. But nah, what's that, man? The
unicorn.
Not the unicorn. It's a lot. The covering.
The covering cast being removed.
Yeah.
I get it for you. We don't gotta butcher.
I'm gonna just finish what I was saying right quick. The name of the Lord is the most important thing. Starting off.
No cloak for your sins. Slap.
Slap. I get that one for you.
Slap, brother.
No, you good. Damn, I forgot. What was I saying?
Saying about your father in the name of the Lord.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, point blank, period. Like I said, the name of the Lord is first and foremost. The name of the Lord is important because if you look in the Bible, when you read the word capital L-O-R-D, that's the name of the Lord. And then guess what you have to do? You have to go into the Hebrew. And now I know when you go into the Hebrew and the Bible concordance or whatever, it's the wrong name. But you gotta seek the Lord 10 times more, because the Lord is eventually reveal the name to you. Because the tetragrammaton is YHWH. Now you gotta use some type of sense, which is the spiritual sense, to fill in what the gaps. Because there's no E's, U's, V's, E's, U's, V's in the ancient Hebrew, the Assyrian or the Lashwan Kodash. So basically a process of elimination. And then, the Spirit, the Spirit bear witness that we are the children of Israel. Yep.
So Romans 3 and 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
Yeah, and that's talking about Yahushua. Yahushua, if you hear the Lord's knock, which is gonna be out on the highways and byways, or you might come across playing on YouTube, who those guys that are in dresses, and then you come across a GMS video, and you happen to listen. That's the Lord. That's the Lord opening your mind. Which read it one more time.
Right, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and with me.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, it's not dresses, it's ancient style garments.
Yeah, it's like it. But you know, when people scoff, but yeah, that door is your mind, your la or la'ab. That door is your mind, and the spirit comes. You know, the spirit comes onto you. Yahushua comes to you and knocks on that door by, you know, like I said, by you hearing the words, hearing this the gospel, hearing this good news, because this is good news unto the children of Israel.
That's right. Right. So I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
And how does the Lord sup with you? The Lord sups with you at the table by giving you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's how you gain the knowledge. That's how you gain what not to do and what to do, because the wages of sin is death. The payment of going against the law, statutes, commandments, like it, going against your power, your heavenly Father, is sin. Is death. And the Lord can take you out at any time you want, just from something you did in your past life. And that's and like the brother said, you shall serve the Lord with fear and trembling.